Appreciate you pulling up to the neighborhood for real. And to all my neighbors, appreciate you for checking in on the brother. Tis be the residents of the chaotic prince. Welcome to my humble abode. And today, we finna learn something. Plain and simple. We checking out Kurzgesagt, cause you know what? To this day, I still can't pronounce them. I could pronounce it after they say it, but let me look at the name real quick. Cause I think, let me see. I know my English is pretty. Kurzgesagt. Okay, yeah, I still got it. Kurzgesagt. Um, yeah, we finna check them out. They said this the most complex language in the world. Ugh, I ain't got much. I ain't finna, hold the intro too long for this one. We finna learn something, plain and simple, like I said. But before I go ahead and hit that play button, though, and get viewing on it, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button, help me get rolling this algorithm for real. I see y'all getting some views, and I like that. Appreciate you coming through, checking it out, seeing what's up. But hit that like button while you at it. You know what I'm saying? Just it ain't gonna hurt. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Just hit that like button for real. But yeah, hit that. Go ahead, comment some down. Comment some. What you let me know how many languages y'all can speak for real. Sorry for the noise. I'm opening a bag of popcorn. One thing I want y'all to know about me, I'm a fat ass, big fat ass. I'm little, but I'm a fat ass. I love to eat. Well, I'm kind of picky too. So I'm over here ranting. But yeah, go ahead, drop it down in the comments. Let me know what languages you can speak. Right now, I'm taking a Spanish class, so I'm gonna hit up the Spanish family. You know what I'm saying? Nah, let me chill out. But sure, go ahead and do that. And if you're new to the neighborhood, go ahead and stop being a stranger, become a neighbor. Hit that subscribe button. Join the family for real. Set up some plot, get you some land or something. You know what I'm saying? Join the community. But now let's go ahead. Link to the original video gonna be down in the description.
You are cells, your muscles, organs, skin, and hair. They are in your blood and in your bones. Cells are biological robots. They don't want anything. They don't feel anything. They are never sad or happy.
Dog, why is it so loud in my headphones? I don't want this to be like. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna just leave it here and pray it ain't too loud for y'all. If it is, I'll just fix it in editing. But Lord,
they don't want anything. They don't.
Alright, my bad.
Cells are biological robots. They don't want anything. They don't feel anything. They are never sad or happy. They just are, right here, right now. They're as conscious as a stone or a chair or a neutron star. Cells just follow their programming that's been evolving and changing for billions of years, molded by natural selection. They are impossible machines, and yet here they are, driven entirely by the fundamental forces of the universe. The smallest unit of life, right at the border where physics becomes biology. Sometimes, to get a truer understanding of how amazing something is, you need to hold your breath and dive in really deep. So, what are cells, and how do they work? Look around the room you're sitting in right now. Let's fill it top to bottom with trillions of grains of sand, billions of grains of rice, hundreds of thousands of grapes, a few thousand apples, and a dozen watermelons. This is what the inside of your cells looks like. In terms of numbers,
It's just a bunch of random. Just a bunch of random. Oh no, my popcorn. He basically said it's just a bunch of random shit. Just a bunch of random nothing. Why is it different?
they're mostly filled up with water molecules.
Because I'm over here thinking, why? Huh?
Cells look like. In terms of numbers, they're mostly filled up with water molecules, the grains of sand. Water gives the cell's insides the consistency of soft jelly and enables other things to move around easily. Almost all the other things, the rice and fruit, are proteins. Several billion in total, more than 10,000 different kinds, depending on the function of the cell. Billion in total.
Symbolically.
More than 10.
No, and that's why I like Kurzgesagt. Because y'all get it. That's why I like them. because they make it
1,000 different kinds, depending on the function of the cell. Your cells are basically protein robots, as is all life, really. In fact, all solid, non-fat parts of your body are mostly made out of protein, even your bones. Proteins are dead things that make life happen. How does this work?
What's going on, bro?
The language of life. Cells need to do many very hard things to stay alive. Get food in and waste out, grow and build structures, escape danger or react to stimuli, make copies of themselves, and so on. All of this is done by speaking the language of life. And the words of this language are proteins. This is how this language works in a nutshell. It all begins with amino acids, tiny organic molecules. They're the alphabet of the language of life. There are 21 different ones, like different letters. Amino acid A, amino acid B, C, and so on. If you put around 50 amino acids together, they form a protein, which in the language of life is a word. And if you put many of
I get it. I'm pretty sure I'm getting it still. I'm praying they don't lose me. I'm praying they don't lose me because I get it up there.
form a protein, which in the language of life is a word.
Okay, and the cells use that protein to do.
And if you put many of these protein words together, you get a sentence called a biological pathway. Let's oversimplify a bit and say, for example, your cell needs to break down sugar with the language of life. It may take the amino acids for the letters B, R, E, A, and K to form the protein word break. Then combine this word with other protein words to form a biological pathway sentence that means break down sugar. In reality, this language of life is so complex that it defies imagination. You need to know about 8,000 words to speak a human language really well. But in the language of life, there are an estimated 20,000. And while the average English word has 5 letters,
So is it because like it's essentially that's like what 10? I know it's 20. How many in English? 8,000 words. Damn.
there are an estimated 20,000. And while the average English word has 5 letters, human proteins have an average of 375 amino acids. The longest protein has more than 30,000. And cells need to execute thousands of steps at any moment. If they ever stop speaking the language of life, they die. Okay, but how do mindless cells speak a language this complex? Let's dive a little deeper. There are 21 amino acids that can be combined to form.
Yo, how deep can we go for real?
Let's dive a little deeper. There are 21 amino acids that can be combined to form proteins. And proteins are made up of dozens to hundreds to thousands of amino acids. For the average protein length of a human cell of 375 amino acids, you get a stunning 6.8 times 10 to the power of 495 possible proteins your cells can make. A quadrillion Google times more than there are atoms in the universe. Most of these possible proteins are useless. Just like with human language, most random letter combinations are just gibberish. So you need to know which words, which proteins make up a language to speak it properly.
It said Kurzgesagt or Kurzgesagt. They said that's how some people pronounce it, and they didn't realize. And now they said if you know, you know on here.
So you need to know which words, which proteins make up a language to speak it properly. And this is the job of your DNA, a long sequence of instructions. If you untangled a cell's DNA, it would be about 2 meters long. All of your body's DNA combined into one long string would reach to the sun and back over 20 times. Around 1% of your DNA is made up of genes, which are basically protein dictionaries that contain all the words of the language of life your cells speak. But genes are also the building manuals for all the proteins your cells need to function. The rest of your DNA is probably not useless, but basically like a set of rules. It's like the book of grammar of the language of life. Which proteins need to be built At which time? How many of them do you need? Which protein words go together and why? Okay, letters, words, sentences, dictionary, and grammar. But of course, this is all just a metaphor for something mind-numbingly complex. Let's dive a little.
I oh my god, we going deeper. Yo, that's nah, but obviously this man, I'm over here like you oversimplified it, but it's still a very complex thing to do. And when you're thinking about the size and the level that this is happening on,
Deeper to catch a glimpse of reality. How dead proteins make life. Now that we have some basic principles, we have a chance to understand how dead things make life together. And for that, we need a fundamental force of the universe, electromagnetism. The elementary particles that make up atoms, which make up amino acids, have different charges that attract or repel each other. The 21 different amino
I ain't gonna lie, I just zoned all the way out. Damn. Okay, my bad, y'all. My bad, Kurt.
Now that we have some basic principles, we have a chance to understand how dead things make life together. And for that, we need a fundamental force of the universe, electromagnetism. The elementary particles that make up atoms, which make up amino acids, have different charges that attract or repel each other. The 21 different amino acids all have slightly different charges. Some are more negative, others more positive. When your cells build proteins, they put different amino acids together in chains, basically long strings. Now, because of the different charges of the amino acids used, these strings begin to fold in on themselves. This folding process is so complex that we still haven't completely understood how exactly it works. But in a nutshell, 1D strings become 3D structures. Proteins are basically 3D puzzle pieces with a very specific shape. In the world of proteins, shape is everything. Because its 3D shape determines which areas of a protein are charged in which way, and this determines how it can interact with other proteins. All of these differently charged puzzle pieces can snap together or repel each other. When they snap together, their
Okay.
charge changes, which can make them change their shape, which then makes them a new protein, a new tool that can do new things. This is what makes proteins so incredibly powerful. You can do basically everything with them.
Proteins, listen. I already know we thinking it, y'all. We thinking it. Proteins is just some little Legos. Advanced air
They can snap
Legos.
together like Lego pieces to build complex structures. They can dismantle things. They can form complex micro-machines that use energy to do work. And maybe most stunningly, they can convey information. Let's say there's a toxic chemical entering your
Not being
cell.
to the mailbox.
There may be a protein shaped to snap to that toxin. If the protein finds cell, there may be information.
My bad. I was
Let's
reading
say
the
there's
thing.
a toxic chemical entering your cell. There may be a protein
Okay.
shaped to snap to that toxin. If the protein finds that toxin, it changes its shape. With that new shape, it can now snap into a different protein that changes its shape again. This new protein activates a micromachine that directly binds to your DNA to order the production of a special protein which acts as an antidote to the toxin. This cascade of interaction is the pathway we spoke about earlier, a sentence in the language of life. So, without a single active thought, proteins have fixed a problem and saved the cell's life. In reality, these pathways can have dozens to hundreds of steps. How life operates is so incredibly awe-inducing. Somehow, mind-numbingly complex interactions between dumb and dead proteins create a less dumb and less dead cell. Somewhere around here, life happens, but we still don't know what life is. How dumb things are smart together. We need another analogy, so let's talk about ants. Ants share a fundamental property with cells: they are really dumb. A single ant will just stumble around uselessly. But if you put a lot of ants together, they exchange information and do amazing things. Constructing
Dang, every time I seen an ant by itself, I always thought it was just chilling or doing its own little thing. I know it looked like it was going somewhere. It didn't. Every time I seen them, they look like they're on a mission somewhere. So, but Hey,
complex structures, organizing themselves, caring for broods, or attacking enemies. Although dumb individually, together they become something greater. This phenomenon occurs all over nature and is called emergence. It's the observation that entities have properties and abilities that their parts do not have. This is how everything in your body works. Your cells are bags of proteins guided by chemistry. But together, these proteins form a living being that can do a lot of really sophisticated things. Cells are mindless robots that are even dumber than ants, but many of them acting together form specialized tissue and organ systems, from muscles that make your heart beat to brain cells that make you think. If you look outside at the incredible dimension and scale of space, a place where forever is a real thing, it's almost impossible not to feel a bit small, not special. But if you look inside into what you really are, you just discover almost indescribable complexity, the beautiful language of life. Almost everything in the universe reveals hidden layers of complexity if you look closer, and if you have the knowledge to understand it. To help you with that,
dang. Okay. Hey, look at that. I'm learning stuff. I like that. That was nice. It really, I really like watching videos and stuff like this because it puts into perspective life for real, and like everything around you when you stop and think about it, and like understanding how something so miniature. He said the most complex language in the world, the language of life. Did they just reveal the meaning of life? I ain't finna get too far ahead of myself, but only because I just stopped and thought about it. Like, if you think about it and you break it down to that small level, and we're seeing what it does, and it doesn't even have a consciousness for real or something like that, whatever. Like, it's not even alive for real. It just works. It's just doing what it does to literally exist. And then when it showed the crossways with like from that to ants to societies, like think about it. We really should all be working together to improve the way of life for real. But here we are, just effing that thing up for real. Fuck shit up. Man, humanity. Look, that's a whole nother topic for another discussion. Shoot, like I said, great video. Learn some. Might I don't know. I might be reaching. Might have just found the secret of life. I think I just found the title for this video too. But yeah, appreciate y'all checking in, rolling with me. I always like when my popcorn. I like the extra buttery kind. I like when my popcorn hot though. Like fresh, man. It just tastes better. But yeah, shoot, that's it for the knowledge Thursday. We finna hop into some other stuff. Look, y'all know the role. Y'all know the drill. I got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm finna get back into my world. I'm gonna let y'all get into yours. May our universes collide in the neighborhood one day. Like I said, leave a like. Help me get rolling in this algorithm for real. Drop a comment down. Let me know how many languages you speak, and if you just understood the language of life like I did for real. If you're new to the neighborhood, stop being a stranger, become a neighbor. Ugh, I hope that didn't spit out. To all my neighbors, I'll see you later.